Hi, this is part 2 of 3 parts. We had such a great time sharing the information that we got a little winded. So let us know what you think.
Okay. People are rude. People are very rude. And they're very judgmental. I mean, even strangers. We're going to talk about this man in an elevator.
Sure.
Okay. Well, we used to work. There was a guy.
Well, we was working City Hall and we was courting each other. I used that word courting. That's an old term.
Well, that's all right because you were great at courting.
Yeah. So the guy was a lawyer and we were on the elevator, her and I and one or two other people. And we used to speak every day. We just casually speaking. And he said, "Oh, is that your daughter?" So I took offense. I was kind of defensive. So I said, "Ain't my daughter, that's my lover." Man didn't talk to me no more for about 2-3 years. Like, I don't know. Time went by, he stopped talking to me.
He stopped speaking.
Stopped speaking.
But that's what he get. People don't realize when you ask something outlandish or you want to be so bold about it, be bold and ready for a response. Okay? Especially if you don't know who you're talking to.
Well, I'm not known to being shy saying words strictly to your face, so you
Right.
just didn't know that.
Very direct.
Yeah.
And so
Very direct person.
And so we had a whole scenario where he didn't mean anything by it. It was an older man. Older man. And we were on our way into the movie theater. And we were with his son and daughter-in-law. And we were going to see The Matrix.
The first Matrix.
The very first one. So the guy said, guy that take your tickets, he said, "Miss, you're going to have to explain this to your dad because this movie is kind of like flipping floppy and like all over the place."
Very futuristic.
Yeah, of course, we just laughed because we get it all the time. And he immediately said, "So you're going to explain this to me when we get inside, right?" I'm like, "Of course I am." But you have to know things like that are going to come because unfortunately it's people's ignorance or it's their, like, they think they're taking digs.
Yeah, they think they are.
Right. But they don't know who,
But the age difference might not be a problem. The problem I have is that at my age, and she still look like she's 12. See, I'm aging. She's not.
Well, I was told not to. I was told, don't get older. And I said, okay.
Yeah, my mother used to tell her, don't get old. I don't know what she ain't had to probably put the curse on her. She'd be young forever now.
It's not a curse, it's a blessing.
Anyway, because of her looks and her appearance and her youthfulness, because I don't have no youthfulness.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, well, love is blind.
Nah.
Next question.
Okay, next. For the gentleman, COVID-19, it brought out a whole bunch of new talents for us.
A whole lot of different talents for everybody.
So we've realized that we really got along and we weren't like ripping each other to shreds or getting on each other's nerves or just having issues or problems with one another. What we did discover is a hidden talent that he had. He became the sous chef. He didn't even realize that he was so interested in cooking. Though I have in the past had, great cooking skills, but he's like, "Well, you don't have to cook. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is know how to go sit down at a restaurant, put your feet on the table." And I'm great with that. But COVID happened and we weren't going to do a whole lot of that. So he just started.
I started coming up with meals and different ideas and
loving
different food.
He loved it.
I had to love it because you couldn't go out.
Yeah.
So you had to learn to do something. So it was part of my life. I never had to do. My mother, in the household of Callow Avenue, men didn't come in the kitchen. Came in the kitchen, maybe help set the table or something. But
right.
Other than that, it wasn't that era of men learning to cook around my mother. She wasn't going to teach you as a man anyway. So
come in that kitchen.
Don't come in her kitchen. So,
old school.
So I never had any interest in cooking. So
okay, but he do now.
I do now.
Okay. All right. So children. he has a grown children. He has just one son. And fortunately for me, I didn't have to deal with no baby mama drama. I didn't have to deal with no dropping off the kids, picking up the kids, none of that crap. So it was a huge benefit. But they're ours. So it was a huge plus for just the fact that he has a son, and he's grown and he has kids. So I never
I'm
had
gonna
to deal
defend
with
the man
stuff.
part as looking at a beautiful young lady out here in the world. I ain't had to worry about picking up no Pampers. I ain't had to pick up nobody from school. I ain't had to get nobody from the nursery. So that went two ways. I didn't want to deal with it. So it was so nice to have no children in our life.
Yeah. We have no babies involved like that. I mean, grandkids, nieces and nephews, great nieces and nephews of mine. Right. I mean, they love them. So that was never an issue or a problem, but right. It didn't give us any problems.
Love the kids.
Yes.
And then I can leave them there and go home.
Very much so. Okay. From his list, interest and energy, traveling. We had major interest in cruises. We talked about this on the previous video. We have great bonds. We love, doing things, movies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we
I was at a stage in my life, I wasn't interested in nothing but entertaining. So, I love live theater. I love seeing live plays and live theaters.
Yes.
Love it. And so, I kidnapped her
from the world,
from her world to my world. And so we ended up going to see a lot of plays, and we saw, we were both movie fanatics.
Yes.
We used to go from one movie over into the next movie and just sing 2 hours. We go into another movie.
Yes.
So we was movie addicted.
Yeah, very much. And speaking of which, we just went to our very first movie since COVID.
Yeah.
Just yesterday. And we never do Friday movies, but knowing it wasn't going to be bombarded and super crowded,
and we
were like, let's get in there on a Friday night. We went out to eat afterwards. That's used to be our Friday nights, our dinner and date night. So that was good.
Yeah,
that was nice.
It was nice. It was different. I ain't gonna comment on the movie. My movie wasn't that good.
That new what was it? Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Duel to the Death.
Duel.
Yeah, the Duel. It was a duel. It was a true story, but
it wasn't great.
Yeah, it wasn't
at all. We wanted more action. It was some Game of Thrones characters in there. I said, "Oh, this is gonna be good." Mm-mm.
Yeah, misled on the promos.
So this is the end of part 2. So click here for part 3.